More benefits for independent creators. Number 1. New revenue from existing content. One unfortunate side effect of NFT media coverage is that most creators associate NFTs with high-value per-item sales. If you are exploring NFTs with the hope of being the next million-dollar selling NFT artist, you are going to be severely disappointed. Frankly, it misses the point. The true value of NFTs for comic book creators is the ability to take content that has already been created and repurpose it into another product to sell, all with minimal effort. There's no arranging for plastic figures to come from across the ocean, no supply chain issues, no new catalog placements. Once you have the infrastructure in place, creating a new NFT is actually quite simple. It is possible to create an NFT from your existing content in an afternoon using many of the skills and tools your team already knows. The real work of NFTs is actually the marketing. Because of this low threshold and because you're working with already existing content, you don't have to sell very many at a high price to make a significant impact on your comic business. Selling an NFT for the exact same price you sell a floppy comic or a PDF on Kickstarter can be profitable because the additional input costs are so low. Put another way, could you use another product that bumped up your overall net revenue by 15%? Who could you afford to pay more if you could add an additional revenue stream for your comic? I was recently privy to an NFT launch for an established IP that brought in, by my back-of-the-napkin calculations, about 16% of the net revenue generated by the creator's print comic of the same issue, all in under 4 hours. And this was during a depressed crypto winter market for NFT sales. This level of engagement is likely not possible for an independent creator initially, but I believe it is possible for most creators of quality comics over the long term. Number 2. A new market. Your NFT strategy will not compete with the sales of your floppy comics in the direct market or on Kickstarter. Unlike some collectibles that offer incremental sales to essentially the same fan base, for example high-detail statues, the demographics of the NFT market differ greatly from that of floppy comics. If the median comic book store customer is a male between the ages of 30 and 50, the typical NFT buyer is younger, 18 to 34, and in that age bracket almost as likely to be female as male. In some ways it looks more like the market for manga. Interestingly, in the US, NFTs are of the most interest to people with incomes less than $25,000 and those with incomes over $150,000. If you combine these unique demographic characteristics with the possibility of reaching an international audience, the potential to reach new fans is tremendous, especially if you take the time to offer translations of your work. Even if you don't, there are roughly 1.35 billion English speakers in the world across more than 60 countries, the vast majority of whom have never read your comic. Yet few creators sell many comics on Kickstarter beyond the US, Canada, and the UK, and maybe Australia. Selling your comic as a collectible outside these markets becomes a possibility using NFT technology. I should point out that the general lack of overlap with your existing customer base is a challenge as much as it is an opportunity. Even if you are an established high-profile creator, it is quite likely that your potential NFT customers have never even heard of you. As mentioned earlier, marketing is critical to any successful NFT campaign. Creating your NFT comic is the easy part. Number 3. Double revenue. Fans may buy print and digital editions. I just went out of my way to indicate how the markets for NFTs and traditional comics are quite different. However, there exists a small fraction of any fan base who will buy almost anything a creator produces, including NFTs. Right now, I would put this in the category of future potential benefits because the worlds are currently very different. However, there's an entire generation coming up who will experience NFTs in games as concert tickets and use them as gym passes. These individuals won't even think twice about purchasing and owning persistent digital content. These fans will help feed your creative team by buying your NFTs. Number 4. Variant covers and packs. Most successful Kickstarter campaigns for comics have multiple tiers. Often the distinguishing factor of each level is a variant cover. Until now, there has not really been a way to effectively monetize PDF comics with variant covers because the whole point of a variant cover, besides its awesome art, is its uniqueness, and a standard PDF can be replicated infinitely. As an NFT creator, you can decide how many of a particular cover you mint, anywhere from 1 to millions. My personal strategy is to set a limited number of each variant cover NFT and then have the base cover NFT be available in unlimited mint-on-demand numbers. Unlike print comic variants, purchasers can actually verify exactly how many of a particular NFT exist in circulation. Issuing variant cover NFT comics introduces the ability to sell PDFs at various price points based on rarity. Alternatively, the creator can sell NFT packs with varying contents. This mystery box approach can add another dimension of collectability, providing joy to the collector similar to what opening a pack of physical Marvel cards provides. Another subtle thing unique about NFTs is that the front-facing image of the NFT does not need to be rectangular. For example, I have a set of NFTs for my comic that appear as rotating challenge coins in a user's wallet. Variant cover NFTs offer another way to offer value for your customers and increase margins per sale with the content you already have. If you are creating variant covers for your print editions, you now have an avenue to capitalize on those covers in your digital sales. Number 5. Mint numbers. From time to time, you'll see print comics with a unique serial number printed on the cover of each copy. For some collectors, serial numbers provide added value. Generally, the lower the serial number, the higher the value. The NFT equivalent is the mint number and represents the order in which the NFT was created, aka minted. This number is stored in the metadata associated with the NFT. Generally speaking, the lower the mint number, the more valuable the NFT. However, this is a generalization. Some collectors focus on mint numbers that represent a favorite number. These could be lucky numbers like 8 and 777, a birthday, 1986, statement or joke numbers, 666, 69, 420, or, in the sports environment, the jersey number of the competitor. In general, NFT creators pre-mint all of the particular NFT in a batch and then randomly distribute them to end users. Buyers don't know what number they will receive until it arrives in their wallet, although they can see and seek out specific serial numbers in the aftermarket. Another technique is to mint using sequential numbering. The idea being the earlier you purchase, the lower the mint number. This technique has fallen out of favor as traders using bots ruined it for everyone, sniping higher value, low serial numbers the instant a drop occurred. Sequential numbering is best used with comic NFTs that have an unlimited supply after an initial randomized drop. 6. Resale royalties. When a comic retailer sells a print comic they acquired from a distributor or a collector, the creative team behind the comic does not receive any portion of the money that changes hands. This is very different in the NFT world. When you create an NFT, you can indicate a royalty percentage in its metadata, typically 3 to 15%. Each time the NFT is resold on an NFT marketplace that supports this feature, that percentage is paid back to a specific crypto wallet address. Unlike Hollywood royalties, which are notorious for being subject to creative accounting, these royalties get paid based on a percentage of each gross sale and are distributed in near real time. This payment is hard-coded and occurs almost instantaneously. No accountant is involved, and there is no limit to how many times this occurs. These royalties are even independent of whether or not the original publisher stays in business. It was part of the original vision for NFTs that artists actually benefit each time a piece of art changes hands. Over a career, it is possible that a creator could generate significant passive income that would continue into their retirement and beyond to their heirs. However, don't build your compensation or business model around this feature, as the obligation for NFT marketplaces to pay this royalty is a cultural expectation more than coded law. As such, these magical auto-pay royalties could disappear at any time if the marketplaces unilaterally decide not to honor this feature. So far, I am aware of only 3 exchanges trying to pull this off, and the backlash against them has been pretty intense, as a large percentage of NFT holders are also NFT creators. Even though this benefit has been overblown in some circles as it could eventually disappear, it is fair to say that the revenue generated via royalties from the resale of any comic NFTs you create is 100% guaranteed to be the same or greater than the royalties you'll receive from the resale of your print comics and standard PDFs. Currently, NFT resale royalties generally go to the address of the person who minted the NFT. One of the exciting emerging twists that I have seen is the ability for royalties to be automatically split to several addresses. Imagine every individual on your creative team automatically receiving a small payout anytime your comic NFT was resold. This is something that may be readily possible in the future, although to date I have only seen evidence of this built into the Spawn NFTs minted at Todd McFarlane and Steve Aoki's oddkey.com. Number 7. No intermediaries. Blockchain, the technology that underpins NFTs, is known for making middlemen unnecessary. While many different NFT marketplaces let you post your comic for sale, and dozens of other sites offer easy-to-use tools to help you create NFTs, in reality, you do not need these services. With a little bit of open source code and your comic as a digital file, you can create and distribute your own NFT. There's no formatting for Comixology and no gatekeepers determining what constitutes not safe for work. For your customer, there are no cloud service links to sign into. If you have your customer's wallet address, you can guarantee your comic NFT can get to your customer. As always, with great power comes great responsibility. Without gatekeepers, it is solely up to you to honor your customers with the best possible comic. Hiring an editor and the best possible creative team for your comic is highly recommended. Number 8. Verifiable delivery. Have you ever sent a comic to someone and had them deny it arrived? Transactions on public blockchains, and by transaction I mean actions like sending or receiving, are by definition public. One of the first website tools implemented for any blockchain is called an explorer. When you send an NFT to another person, you send it to their pseudonymous wallet address. Using an explorer, you can verify that it ended up in their wallet with 100% confidence. There's no more, maybe it ended up in your spam folder. Number 9. Enhanced subscriptions. NFTs and blockchain technology make subscriptions to your digital comic a viable option. Specifically, I'm talking about the kind of subscription previously associated with magazines. Sure, it is possible to simply grant access to a comic at regular intervals online, but this kind of subscription requires the reader to remember to come to your site. Alternatively, services like Substack offer subscriptions by email and now their app. Though closer to how traditional subscriptions work, it's not always possible to determine if a comic delivered by email actually arrived or ended up in someone's spam folder. A subscription NFT provides a kind of digital signpost showing creators where to deliver their content. These NFT anchor drops are already quite common in the PFP world. The incremental advantage that a comic NFT provides is that you can send it to someone's wallet and, as mentioned earlier, get verifiable proof on the blockchain that it arrived. In some ways, this is even better than the old magazine by mail subscription. Though I haven't seen this feature implemented yet for a PDF comic, hypothetically, it would be possible to set up transferable subscriptions as well. If a subscription was tied to a particular subscription NFT token and the person didn't actually want to keep reading, they could transfer the rest of that subscription to an entirely different person. Their creator then would just need to keep subscribers apprised of snapshot days, basically the cutoff before the next issue drops. Number 10. Utility. A solution for trade waiting? I have to confess, I'm a trade waiter. If I purchase a physical single issue, is because I'm supporting a Polygon Kickstarter and blown away by a cover, or just have to have that number 1. If I buy sequential storytelling for the story arc, I need the whole story in front of me at once. I also hate paying $10+ in shipping for each $7 floppy in between. Given the choice, I wait for the publication of a shelf-friendly trade. Sorry, not sorry. Comic NFTs may offer a unique way for creators to benefit from trade waiters like me. The magic involves giving your comic NFTs utility. Imagine you crowdfund your comic over the course of 2 years, offering the digital comic each time as an NFT. At the end of the run, a dedicated digital reader would hold 5 to 8 different NFTs, one for each issue. Through blockchain magic, any collector with a complete set of NFTs in their wallet could easily be sent a comic NFT digital trade edition and a discount token to use when buying a physical trade via your online shop. Not only do you honor your loyal fans, you also increase the number of times single-issue NFTs change hands, translation more royalties, and add value to collecting the complete set of single-issue NFTs. Using tools available on many blockchains, this sort of coupon drop to verified holders of given NFTs provides an option with many potential uses. Number 11. Crafting. Crafting is the ability to take one or more NFTs of one type and return one or more different NFTs of the same or different type based on a specific recipe created for the collection. The uses for this blockchain magic are only limited by your imagination, but it's probably easiest to understand crafting by looking at some examples. Imagine a collector being able to take 5 duplicate regular cover issue number 2 comic NFTs and trade them in for one variant cover issue number 2 comic NFT. Trade an English language issue number 4 for Spanish edition number 4. Trade a character trading card NFT for a special holiday edition of that card. Allow any user with issues 5 to 8 of a particular run of comic NFTs to mint a special edition 3D trading card NFT of the main character of that run while they keep their original set. Take a complete set of all the comic NFTs for your project and use them to mint a special token allowing that special fan to pick up a physical item at a con. Take an unsigned comic NFT plus a POAP NFT, that's a proof of attendance protocol NFT, received at a creator appearance, and get a comic NFT with a signed cover. Crafting recipes are only limited by the creator's imagination and the available tools on the particular blockchain hosting the comic NFT. Number 12. Packs. Packs, a type of comic NFT, exists solely to be opened, i.e. crafted, into one or more NFTs with a varied likelihood of getting each possible type in the pack. Some blockchains, Wax being the best example, facilitate the use of video to simulate ripping a pack. If you've ever collected trading cards, you're familiar with the thrill a collector gets opening a pack to see what's inside. NFT packs allow the digital equivalent of hunting for that special limited edition hologram card. These digital packs or blind boxes contain any number and type of comic NFTs with predetermined odds of getting a specific NFT. For example, each pack could include a digital challenge coin, a comic, and a print, all comic NFTs, each with different variant versions with different rarities. On the Wax blockchain, the tools offered by niftyblocks.com even allow creators to include NFTs from other collections, with permission of course, making it possible to create a collaboration pack that includes comic NFTs from several participating creators. Digital packs add a layer of suspense to receiving digital content that can be a source of joy for your digital comic readers. 13. Community incentives. NFTs can be used to build community and recognize your fans who actively engage. One of the most common strategies is to gift fans with POAPs. These proof of attendance protocol NFTs are the digital equivalent of event postcards or badges handed out to the attendees of either in real life or digital events. For example, coming to a Twitter Spaces live feed. They are a fun way to build and reward community engagement. For my own comic, I plan to create rotating digital challenge coins for my Kickstarter backers. Even though the front-facing image is a coin, it will still have the downloadable comic PDF attached. Like handing out bookmarks or other memorabilia at a show, NFTs can be used in much the same way to thank your fans and build a sense of belonging. Number 14. Programmable experiences. If you think of NFTs as uniquely identifiable tickets, with a little imagination and the right tools, you can use the technology to create what I'll call programmable experiences. Imagine, for example, being able to sell escrow/placeholder tokens to your comic before it has even been created, designed to hold the payment for a future comic. After a certain given amount of time, the holder would automatically either be refunded the money if no comic PDF NFT was delivered, or receive the actual comic PDF NFT in their wallet, and the funds then would be released to the creator. Have existing holders of a specific comic NFT automatically receive the first issue of a spin-off comic for free. Automatically divide revenue from each sale at the time of purchase to the different creators involved with the project. Waxing wistful for a moment, I can't help but wonder if these are the kinds of features that Kickstarter was pursuing with their now on-hold blockchain strategy. So many people imagined the transition to blockchain technology as simply an effort to introduce payment via cryptocurrency. However, I have to believe that there was more to it than that. Accepting cryptocurrency as a payment option is as simple as dropping a little bit of code from a payment provider, for example Square, into a website payment page. There was no need to entirely rebuild using blockchain technology if that was the only goal. It is a shame that assumptions were made and the pitchforks came out before we actually heard the why of the project. 15. Pseudonymity. As a comic NFT creator, you can effectively be a digital Banksy with your comic. People will know you by your artist name, but not actually know who you are unless you decide to tell them. It sounds like hyperbole, but the ability to be pseudonymous in the creation process can literally be a matter of life, death, or worse for oppressed and censored communities in some parts of the world. While not impossible to approximate this with a conventional comic PDF, you can set up an anonymous email account, hide domain name registration, etc. If you require payment for that PDF, someone, somewhere, knows your name, address, and probably your bank account or credit card number. In contrast, being virtually anonymous is the default situation for many cryptocurrency wallets that store and receive cryptocurrency payments for NFTs. The address works more like a telephone number than a named mailbox. These addresses can technically be created without interaction with the traditional web, i.e. bypassing conventional tracking or even entering a name. While this actually introduces some interesting ethical considerations that I'll discuss later, for members of marginalized communities and those dealing with controversial subjects in their comic work, it can literally be life-transforming. As a comic NFT creator, your readers don't need to know your gender, race, religion, or physical location on the planet. Frankly, this is currently the default situation for most NFT projects, with fully doxed creative teams being the exception, not the rule. Number 16. For writers and artists. So far, I've discussed comic NFTs as an opportunity for independent creators and publishers. However, if you are a comic artist or a comic writer, there are opportunities waiting for you in the NFT world beyond actually producing your own NFTs. If you're a comic artist with a significant social media presence, there's a good chance that you've already been approached, some would say harassed, by an NFT project. The demand for artists has been intense. If you haven't and you have a particular style that would work well for cover art or pinup art, know that you are very well suited for the NFT world. Simply adding a message indicating interest in your social media profile will likely be enough to attract potential NFT creators. That said, I'd much rather see you create your own NFTs because I want you to receive long-term royalties from your work. Less obvious is the industry's need for writers. Several projects out there have their own comic. That said, how to say this politely, most of the project leads on NFT projects came to it from the art side. Opportunities to bring your professional writing talents to the lore of projects exist. In some cases, PFP NFTs grant IP rights or the character to the NFT owner as a part of the end-user licensing agreement. Be sure to check the end-user licensing agreement and consult with an attorney to avoid the Dune debacle. If the NFT collection has a large community built around it, the opportunity exists to create a successful comic based on that IP. Some larger NFT projects already have in-house writing teams. Star Atlas is a AAA space-based video game currently under development. Even though the fully playable game has yet to be released, there's already a vibrant community built around that IP. The Discord server has over 217,000 subscribers. Many of these community members are actively engaged in the lore of the project. The first graphic novel from Star Atlas is scheduled for release this year. We will soon see how well this metaverse fan base translates into readers and sales. And Star Atlas, if you're reading this, I want to write a story with Ash.Soul as a baby alien rescuing former bounty hunter. Think Black Widow meets the Mandalorian. DM me, okay? With most major comic book publishers exploring NFT strategies, demonstrating that you are an experienced NFT creator may become an important way to make yourself stand out in a competitive job market.